Okay, so we are continuing to solve by substitution. So we talked about when we have one equation, you set equal to a variable, and then you solve for x, and then last step, sub in x for y. If you have no equation set to a variable, then you need to solve the easiest one for a variable, and then plug in and solve. So let's look at this one over here. We have x plus y equals -5. 4x minus 5y equals -20. So we need to look and see which one would be easiest to solve for a variable. So the top one's easiest because it's x plus y. Those don't have any coefficients. But you can solve for either one. Since we're used to solving for y, I'm going to say let's solve that one. Solve for y. So I'm going to solve for the y, so I need to subtract x from both sides. You could solve for x and then plug that in, but since we're used to solving for y, that's why I chose to do that. There's not just one way to do this, though. So now I'm going to use a highlighter, if I can find one. Oh, I can. Oh. So we need to plug in this for what variable? For y, because we have a y equals. So this is going to plug in right here. So we're going to do 4x minus 5 times -x minus 5 equals -20. So we need to distribute this -5 all the way through. So it's 4x, and then -5 times -x becomes plus 5x. -5 times -5 is positive 25, and then equals -20.
Yep.
Then we need to combine like terms. 4x plus 5x is 9x plus 25 equals -20. So we're solving for x. So we just need to get this 25 to the other side, subtract it. We get 9x equals -45. Divided by 9. X equals -5. So we have one of the numbers in the solution. So we just need to find the other number. So we're going to plug it in here. Y equals -5 is x minus 5. So -5 becomes a positive 5 minus 5. So what does y equal? 0. So then our solution is xy, so it's -5, 0. It's a solution to that system. Do you have any questions on it? So let's go to the last tab. It says both equations are set equal to a variable. So they're both set equal to the same variable. So if y equals this and y equals that, set them equal to each other. And solve. Basically, you're putting in this for this, or vice versa. Or you could say you're putting in this for this. So it's x plus 5 equals negative x plus 3. So let's go ahead and solve it. So we need to do plus x to both sides. 2x plus 5 equals 3. Subtract 5. So 2x equals negative 2. Did we divide by 2 on both sides? I ran out of room. So it equals negative 1. And then after you get the x, you got to find your y. Which equation should we plug in the negative 1 for x? Huh? Why the top one instead of the bottom one? Yeah, because that bottom one has that negative, so that could complicate things. It's just easier to do the other. So negative 1 plus 5. So what does y equal? 4. So we put in as xy. So negative 1, 4. All right, so let's do the 2 problems on the inside. So we have x equals 3y minus 6 and x equals y plus 2. So you're plugging in this 3y minus 6 in for x. Three y minus 6 equals y plus 2. Move everything around so you get the y's by itself. I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll let y'all do that and then check.
What if you move the number from saying
It'll be okay. You should still come out with the same answer. So then we get y equals 4. And then which one should we plug in the 4 for y? Which one would be easier? Yeah, x equals y plus 2. X equals 4 plus 2. So x equals 6. So we write our solution as xy. So it'll be 6, 4. All right, the last one. Y equals 2x plus 5 and y equals 2x minus 5. So this is going to go here. So we have 2x plus 5 equals 2x minus 5. Can that equal?
No.
0x, but then you have 5 equals negative 5. Is that true?
No.
What does that mean?
Parallel.
No solution. And what do you see about these two lines? They're parallel. How'd you know that?
Those are the same.
Yep. So Different y-intercept. So parallel, so that means no solution. They'll never intersect.
No solution.
Okay, you're going to put this on your next page in your journal. I think it's what, 76, 75, 76.
No, we just have
Thank you.
You know, recording this class is for the loudest.
No. I'm not done recording. No.
She was recording during that?
Okay, so let's look at your assignment before I shut off the assignment. Shut off the recording. Let me look at this with y'all real quick. We have instructions on 1 through 4. It says solve for the indicated variable. So it says solve for y. So you are going to solve that for y. You're going to move x's around so you can get y equals. Number 2, it says solve for y again. 3, this one says solve for x this time. So make sure you pay attention to that, which one it's asking for. What? What is this? Substitution? What about it? No, that says solve for y. So we're going to get to where y equals something. You're going to subtract 8 from both sides and get it to say y equals. Okay, number 4 through 6, tell which equation you would use to isolate a variable. Explain your reasoning. So this one says x equals 8y minus 3, 3x minus 4y equals 1. Okay, come up here and grab one. So what this means is I'm going to substitute in this for x, right? And the reason why you use this 8x minus 3 in for x is because x is already isolated. Tell which equation you would use to isolate the variable. So it's this one. And why? Because x is already isolated. The 6 problems on the bottom. Let's read the instructions. Circle the expression and the variable you can substitute in for the system of equations. Then solve the system of equations using substitution. So on here, let's do the bottom left. 4y equals 8x minus 28. X equals negative 2y plus 11. So I'm just going to highlight like I was doing in our notes. This already says x equals, so I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to put in this for the x. If you need extra room, then you can do it on a separate sheet of paper. Okay, so I'm going to let y'all do that on your own, but look on the back, there's 6 problems, but I only want you to pick 3. Any 3, you decide. If you want to do 3 more, I'll give you bonus points of 5 points per correct one. So you could get up to 115 on this worksheet. It goes on this paper. So you can bring this paper up to 115. All right, so the rest of the class period, y'all are going to work on this quietly. And I'm also going to pass back your tests so you can do your test corrections.